Hi everyone, comic book reviewer here. This time doing another Halloween film review, and this one is on the 2006 film The Wicker Man. Now, as you know, the 2006 film The Wicker Man is meant to be a horror film and a remake to the British film from 1973, The Wicker Man, which I did cover. And of course, this one is meant to be a reimagining and an alternative version of the original film. And the best I can say is that it's got good ideas, but of course it has to rely on the whole 2000s horror. And the premise of the film is meant to follow policeman Edward Moles, who is obviously meant to be played by Nicolas Cage. And I can see where they were going with Nicolas Cage playing Edward Moles, is being this kind of guy who's obviously had something tragic happen to him that comes off in force. He kind of gets word from his ex-fiancée about something that's happened to her daughter. And you get this sense like obviously he has to journey out to make up for something that happened during his police work. And we see how he journeys it to the small commune of Summersile and learns more about the sort of locals here. I think what I give the whole remake credit is going with a different feel from the 1973 one. Obviously, it's meant to be Sergeant Nail Howley, obviously inspecting things going on in a small traditional village. I think having Edward Moles in exploring a sort of weird, strange, and obviously out of place community makes more sense. It has that Jonestown vibe. And I think what I do give the film credit is going with, obviously, Aline Burstein as basically Sister Summersile. And you can tell she plays this more down to earth leader of this cult. There's more truths about her than there is. And of course, there is more truths about obviously Edward's ex fiancee Willow than Edward wants to admit. I think what the film is trying to do is get Nicolas Cage back for another action-packed role like in the film 8mm. But I think, of course, it suffers from the whole enforced plot where something happens to him that doesn't really feel like it was true motivation. He has someone coming back to his life, which he kind of learns more about. But I think what I give the film another bit of credit is showing how Sister Summersile is a bit crafty in bringing other people onto the island. And of course, they do change the whole crop things to bees. And I think it's an interesting idea because obviously it's this Edward Moles finally now seeing the true nature of not only his ex-fiancée Willow, but more truths about this small community. I think the Wicker Man was just playing on the original one, playing on Nail Howley and Lord Summersile being these antagonistic foils to each other. Here, it just shows Edward Moles wanting to reconnect with someone from his past. He has something that happened to him on his police work, and of course, later starts to see more and more strange things as the film progresses. You get this sense when he does try to look for Sister Summersile and seeing the things in her house being out of place or being these things that obviously Edward Moles just wasn't really expecting. And I think Nicolas Cage can play this character who's obviously trying to figure things out. He's obviously he obviously now has to see not only his ex-fiancee's true nature, but those in this small traditional community. And I think it is trying to be something a lot different, but it knows it can't really carry the torch of the original, and it is trying to be something completely different. And there's a lot of times where reboots, remakes, and reimaginings have to be completely different, and it knows they can't really copy and paste the original, but have to be something completely different. So I think the 2006 Wicker Man isn't the best, but it's at least trying to be a little more creative over the original. So it definitely deserves a thumbs in the middle. It's kind of alright, kind of okay, but not one of the best reimaginings, but it has some interesting ideas. So, comic book reviewer here, signing out.